it affects you. You can have headaches, you can have stomach aches, you can have trouble sleeping. Stress can also affect you mentally. It can wear you down. It can make you exhausted. Stress can also be emotional. You can get upset or irritated more quickly when you're stressed. 43% of adults have stress-related issues. It is said that 75 to 90% of doctor visits are because of stress-related issues or stress-related complications. So when Chris and I moved here, we left everything that we knew behind. We left our family behind. We left our friends behind. We left everything that we knew to move here so Chris could go to school. And when we moved up here, we thought that he had a job. Well, when we got here, they told us that they didn't need him. And so we had a lot of stress. We had financial, we had a new place, we had just a lot of things going on in our life, and it was stressful. And we had left our dog behind because we didn't know if our apartment allowed pets. So what can you do about stress? I want you to take a moment and just think, what are some things that you do about stress? Some people exercise, some people meditate, some people go for a walk. So just think about the things that you do to relieve stress. Well, did you know that pets can reduce stress? Pets are one of the biggest things that can reduce stress. And that includes reptiles. That includes snakes, lizards like bearded dragons, and crested geckos. Tortoises are also reptiles. And the thing about pets, why they reduce stress, is because they fulfill the most basic human need for touch. When you're petting or touching a pet or a reptile, it reduces stress because you're being able to touch. Think about when you're stressed out and somebody gives you a hug. You feel a little better. It may not be a whole lot, but it's a little. And so that basic need for touch comes in. In a convenience study that was done, they sampled 129 people, and 92% of them said that their animals, they believe that their animals helped them to reduce stress when they were touching them, playing with them, holding them. So when I'm holding my reptiles, I like to let them crawl through my fingers, and it just reduces stress because you get to touch them. I even have one. I even have one that likes to climb in my hair. This is not that one. But for instance, so snakes, this is like a baby. When they're newborns, they're like under 12 inches. And they can get up to, they can get up to 4 to 6 feet. So this is an adult. This is his. And he's got about a foot more to go. But he's so fun because you can play with him, you can hold him. I even put him around my neck, and sometimes he'll stay there and sometimes he'll explore. And so snakes are really fun. And so with any reptile or any pet that you get, you need to do your research. Like for instance, these guys are really easy to take care of. Corn snakes are considered a beginner snake. And so they eat like once a week. He's eating hoppers, which is just under an adult mouse. And like this little guy here, he's eating pinkies, which is baby mice before they even get any birth. Another fun reptile is crested geckos. They're really fun because she's really active right now. They like to jump. They like to jump and they like to climb. And they're very social. I just don't want her to jump on the floor. She's been in there for a little while, so she's like, let me out. And another example is a bearded dragon. This is Steelguard. He's our 3-year-old male. And he's really cool because he likes to just hang out on my shoulder. And so what's fun about bearded dragons is they puff up this part right here. This is their beard. They can make it black. And they bob their head up and down to show dominance or submission. And so they're really fun because they're very interactive and they're dog friendly and they're fun to play with. So I'm going to put him awake so that he doesn't go all crazy. So that's just some examples of some reptiles. As with any pet, you want to do your research because some of these can live up to 20 years, like corn snakes. The longest recorded one is 22 years, I think. So you really want to do your research. You want to see if they're a beginner or a more expert, and you want to kind of start slow. The other thing is not everybody likes reptiles, but I would encourage you to visit a reptile store, look at the different reptiles, see what they have, talk to the people. They're very knowledgeable. They can tell you which ones are beginners, which ones are docile, which ones are more aggressive, and then ask them any questions. Ask them if you don't want to hold one yet, if you can just touch one. But they're really, really fun. And the great thing about reptiles, too, is if you have allergens or people with allergies, they're a great reptile to have. They won't go on the floor or make a huge mess like a dog or cat will, because you can keep them in their closure for most of the time. But they do, some of them do like to interact and interact, yeah. So back to my story. Chris and I were really stressed out. So he found a job and was able to start working, which relieved some of the financial stress. We found out that our apartments did allow pets, and so we adopted a shelter dog, and we picked up our dog that we had left in Texas, and we started adopting reptiles, which we have quite a few. We've got 2 bearded dragons, a frog, 2 crested geckos, and 12 snakes. Yeah, we had to convert our living room into a reptile sanctuary, I guess.
Do you grow your own mice?
No, but we probably should. Right, yeah. And I think that's